Hello, you're welcome. My name is Dr. Matute, University of Arkansas, PTC. We're going to have a brief illustration of the digestive system. The human digestive system has four main functions. Number one, digestion, which is the breakdown of food. Number two, absorption, absorbing this food that has been broken down. And then we have motility, the food moves along the digestive system. And then secretion, secretion will be the elimination of digestive waste that were not absorbed. One more time, the digestive system has four main functions: uh, breakdown of food, which is digestion, movement of food along the digestive system, that we call that motility, absorption of the food that was broken down, and then secretion or elimination of waste products that were not absorbed in the course of digestion. Now, the digestive process has four steps, rather six steps. The digestive process has six steps. Chronologically, they are ingestion, propulsion, mechanical digestion, chemical digestion, absorption, and defecation. Ingestion, propulsion, mechanical digestion, chemical digestion, absorption, and defecation. So ingestion is putting the food in the mouth and starting and then starting the digestive process by chewing the food. Propulsion is moving the food along the digestive system, and it involves swallowing and peristalsis. Mechanical digestion is breaking down complex food into small particles. Chemical digestion is breaking down small particulate food into molecular form. Cells can only use food that is in molecular form. And the chemical digestion needs enzymes. Enzymes are chemical substances that speed up chemical processes. After chemical digestion, we have absorption. So the food that has been broken down into molecular form is absorbed. And then defecation is whatever that is not absorbed will be eliminated as waste in the form of feces. Now, the structures of the digestive systems can be divided into two groups from an anatomical perspective. So we have the alimentary canal or GIT, gastrointestinal tract, and then so these are the tubular structures of the alimentary of the digestive system. Then we have the accessory structures which are outside the GIT and which are non-tubular. So we'll begin now by looking at the tubular structures. The first tubular structure is the mouth. This is the mouth over here. And then the next one will be the pharynx right here. Then the next one is the esophagus. So the pharynx joins with the esophagus right here. The esophagus enters the stomach. The stomach empties its contents, moves the food down to the small intestine. Then the small intestine moves the food down to the large intestine. This is the large intestine. It moves down the food to the large intestine. Then the large intestine, it ends with the rectum here. The rectum, this combines the rectum and the anal canal, combines the rectum here, and then anything that is here is already feces, and then it is voided out of the body via the anus. One more time for the tubular portions. We have the mouth, the pharynx, the esophagus, the stomach, the small intestine, the large intestine, which ends with the rectum, and then where by the time it comes to the large intestine, that will be feces already. The feces that is here in the rectum will be voided out of the body via the anus. Now let's go to the accessory structures. We have the tongue. On the surface of the tongue, we have the taste buds. We have the teeth right here. We have the salivary glands. We have the liver, the brownish portion. We have the gallbladder, the greenish one. And then we have the pancreas. So one more time for the accessory structures, we have the pancreas, the liver, the brownish one, the gallbladder, the green one, salivary glands, the tongue, and taste buds on the tongue, and then the teeth. In humans, there are 4 types of teeth. We have the incisors, we have the canines, we have the premolars and the molars. Incisors, canines, premolars, and the molars. The incisors are right in front, the canines are next to the side, and then as you go behind the mouth, you have the premolars, and then you have the molars. The incisors, they are in adults, we have 8 incisors. In adults, we have 4 canines, and we have 8 premolars in adults and 12 molars in the adult stage. So that makes a total of 32 teeth. 8 incisors, 4 canines, 8 premolars, and 12 molars. The incisors, they are sharp, and they have a sharp biting surface, and it is used to cut and to share food into small chewable pieces. The canines that are found in the corners of the mouth, they too, they are sharp, they have pointed edges. They are also used for biting, but they are also used for gripping and tearing food or eat meat. That's what we normally use. Then the premolars, they have a flat biting surface. It is used for grinding and chewing food. It can also be used to tear and to crush food. The molars are the largest of our teeth. They have a large flat biting surface, and they are used for chewing, crushing, and grinding food. The small intestine is divided into 3 sub-anatomical portions. This is the first portion here. This is called the duodenum. The duodenum interfaces with the stomach, so the stomach actually empties its contents into the duodenum. This middle portion is called the jejunum, and then this last portion, which interfaces with the large intestine, is called the ileum. Again, the 3 sub-anatomical portions of the small intestine. This upper portion here that interfaces with the stomach is called the duodenum. This middle portion here is called the jejunum, and this last portion here that empties into the large intestine is called the ileum. Likewise, the large intestine is also subdivided. This portion of the large intestine, this is called the ascending colon. This is the appendix, which is attached to the ascending colon. So we have, this is the ascending colon, this is the transverse colon, this is the descending colon, this is the sigmoid colon, and this is the rectum. The rectum ends in the anal canal, which eventually voids out the unabsorbable food via the anus. So one more time, the subdivisions of the large intestine: ascending colon, transverse colon, descending colon, sigmoid colon, and this is the rectum. This portion here, which is attached to the ascending colon, is the appendix. The liver is made up of 4 lobes. The liver is made up of 4 lobes. If you can see them clearly there, this will be over here. This is lobe number 1. This is lobe number 2. This is lobe number 3 over here, and this is lobe number 4. Lobe number 1, lobe number 2, lobe number 3, lobe number 4. The respective names of the lobes are, we have the right lobe, the left lobe, and then we'll have the quadrate and the quadrate. Right lobe, left lobe, and then we'll have the quadrate and the quadrate. So the 4 lobes of the livers are right lobe, left lobe, quadrate, and quadrate. So this will be the left and the right, and then this is the quadrate and the quadrate right over there. Good. Now, in the liver is the liver is the biggest organ of the digestive system, and it processes blood. Yeah, so it breaks down, balances, and creates nutrients, and metabolizes drugs into non-toxic forms. So every chemical that will actually take in our blood that is actually absorbed via the digestive system, it passes through the liver, where the liver actually breaks it down to non-toxic forms before it allows it to continue being transported throughout the body. So the liver will not allow complex chemicals to reach the cells, because complex chemicals are actually going to destroy the cells. And the liver also secretes bile, and that bile is stored here in the gallbladder. The bile is stored here in the gallbladder. The gallbladder stores bile. The bile that is bile that is made by the liver and stored in the gallbladder, it is used to emulsify fats. Emulsification means like to coat fats. So lipids or fats, they will have to be emulsified before digestion can actually take place. Now this is the stomach. You can see that the stomach is J-shaped. Stomach is J-shaped, and the stomach actually has four regions. We have the cardia, the fundus, the body, and the pylorus. This is the pylorus over here. This is the one that actually interfaces with the small intestine. The cardia is right over here. This is the portion that interfaces with the esophagus, and then the fundus is going to be somewhere over here, and then we actually have this curvature that's actually going to be the body. It serves primarily as it serves primarily as a storage organ. There's some amount of digestion also takes place in the stomach. Now, if we took a cross section of the tubular portion of the digestive system, which is the GIT or the alimentary canal, any of those, that's from the esophagus right down to the large intestine, the walls of that tube, it's actually going to have, we're going to see that the wall of that tube has 4 layers. The wall of that tube has 4 layers. The outermost layer is called the serosa. The second layer from the outside to the inside is called the muscularis. The third layer is the submucosal layer. Then layer number 4 is the mucosal layer. And right in here, this cavity is called the lumen. So if you took a cross section of any of the tubular structures of the digestive system, the walls are actually going to have those four layers. The serosa is essentially a protective layer. The muscularis layer, there from the name, it has made up of mostly smooth muscles. It is responsible for movement specifically, and that movement is brought about by segmentation and peristalsis. The submucosal layer is made up of blood vessels, lymphatic vessels, lymphoid tissues, and nerve cells. Blood vessels, lymphatic vessels, lymphoid follicles, and nerve cells. Then the mucosal layer, this is number 5 or number 4, which is the mucosal layer. The mucosal layer is always moist, and it lines the inner portion of the guts or the GIT. It secretes enzymes, mucus, and hormones that are necessary for digestion, and it also protects the body against diseases. Sometimes the food that we take in or the drinks that we take in, they may come with some pathogens that may cause disease, so that layer is protective as well. Then the 5 here, the lumen or the cavity. That is where the food is actually stored. For when the food is being digested, that's where it sits. When the food is moving from one part of the digestive system to another, that's where it actually sits. So the lumen has 2 functions: storage of food, movement of food, and that's where the digestion actually takes place as well.